this thing to death. Some of the officers are getting up to 30 hours overtime, so we're not letting it rest till we get it. But we've got some very good partners here, and I want them to talk to, because this isn't something we can do by ourselves. We need the help of these two gentlemen and their people as well.
Sure. Thank you all for your time. Just a couple of minutes. First of all, Chief Quick and I are working on improving the collaboration between our two agencies, working much more closely together on major cases and so forth. I've just promoted a detective. I believe they may be doing the same thing shortly, so getting our investigators to work together plus our patrol staff. The only way we're going to make an impact on crime is to come together. I mean, this is a team. Not just as a team among law enforcement and not just police agencies and our DA's office, but the public as well. So we're seeking some help there. Some of you may have seen some of the things we're doing over the weekend, even today. Again, both agencies working closely together because we take this very seriously, and we are trying to make a significant impact in crime.
Thank you for all you do.
Well, what I can tell you is law enforcement is working very hard. That was maybe the worst holiday weekend that a lot of us have had in quite some time. We have 2 weekends in a row with shots fired and 3 people in our community that have holes in them that didn't before. These guys are working night and day to try and solve this and get it done, but that doesn't happen without the community. So we've got members of the community out there who know exactly what happened, who haven't come forward, who are not talking to the police, and every single one of us in these communities have an absolute vested interest in living in communities where bullets aren't ringing around the streets at night. Every single one of us. And I understand not everyone wants to talk to the police. I get it. But we, all of us, deserve to live in a safe community. Those who are affected, those who are part of this community, and these guys can't do it without our help. All of us get better if we work together. That's how it works. That's how our communities get better. Let me also point out that Vince Fraker's in the room. Vince Fraker had his Law Enforcement Academy folks out walking the ditches to find evidence to help on these crimes. But people in the community need to come forward, and they need to help. And I hope they will, because with their help, all of us live better, safe lives in our communities. I can't tell you how, they say they're going to work more closely together. These guys already work really well together. And you see that not only up top, but you see it down in the trenches. The guys who are working a case together, they will meet together. They'll talk about what's going on. They'll have meetings together. It's so great to watch. What a privilege it is. I hope some of you get a chance to see that out in the world. They really work hard together. So be proud of what they're doing, and I want the community to step up. We can get this done.
What information can you give us that we're looking for?
Yeah, I can't.
So I mean,
because
how do we help unless we actually know what you're...
I understand, here's what I would tell you. If you don't know now, you probably don't know, right? What I can tell you is we had shootings 2 weekends in a row, right? I can't talk to you about suspects or anything like that because, all of these guys, and they're so careful about this, they're so great about this, we can't talk about ongoing investigations because we don't want to jeopardize it for their jury, and we're on their very strict guidelines that we can't. That's it. So I wish I could answer more fully, but we just can't because those are our ethical and legal guidelines.
Will, I would just add too that, it could ruin ongoing, prosecution if we are too forthcoming with what we know at this time, because that's still such a touchy matter. So it's not that we're withholding the information because we don't feel like saying anything. This is a process, and we have to see this process all the way through and follow it precisely.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right.
And I would also add that it's not an either or. It's not, should I post something on Facebook and not call the police? Call the law enforcement. If you're more comfortable talking to Sheriff Mobley than Chief Quick, call whoever you want to call, but make sure you do both. Just doing hearsay and spreading stuff like that does no favors to everyone else.
In fact, it does the opposite. It does not help. It spreads rumors that may or may not be true. They don't have to call the sheriff's office. They don't have to call the police department. They can call the DA's office. They can call CBI. They can call whatever agency they're comfortable with, and we'll take the report and we'll get to work. We have a lot of folks who are out there working hard, and I get it.
This- where are you from? Who are you with?
Sheriff Mobley from the sheriff.
Oh, I'm sorry, I haven't seen you in a while, sorry.
Thank you for letting us come in, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you all for what you guys are doing, and anything that we have or can share, we will, but until then, we're just hoping that we get everything solved and keep everyone safe.
Yeah, thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey, Godspeed on getting the criminals. If you're gonna be a criminal, don't do it.
Wise words, Rick, wise words.
That's just words of wisdom.
All right, citizen participation, 5 minutes. If you'd like to come to the front, state your name, and you have your 5 minutes to address the council.
Real quick, Bob Houston, property at 701 West 4th Street. We talked about the warehouse incident. I'm happy to tell you that TLM did come in and took care of the problem. All right, and I appreciate everybody that worked on it. Thank you. I thought I'd let you know.
Patience and understanding.
Thank you, Bob.
Yeah, my name is JJ Horner. I was here December 18th, Dr. Music at the Senior Center. And Paul asked me to come by and update you on what we've done. So these are the flyers that we passed out in the county, also in Sugar City, Ordway, and Los Animas. And it's been on the radio. It's coming out of Chamber of Commerce's. So we want to make sure everybody gets it. Our next flyer will be out next month telling what bands will be playing in April, what time, how much, and everything else they want to know.
Thank you.
Any questions?
You got a whole, bunch of different bands lined up? I
Well,
see here.
the first week of next month we'll be interviewing several of them.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Your daytime dances on there. We're having that from 2 to 5 for the seniors in the county that can't drive at night or can't go out at night. So they can come in the afternoon and dance.
First and third Fridays.
Right. And the second and fourth Fridays will be night dances. Will be seniors only. And it'll be from 50 years old and up.
Awesome, that's really,
Some of you just can't come.
I'm already almost there.
If you date a senior, maybe they'll let you in.
okay. Well, thank you very much, and thank you for not just, coming and voicing your concern about it, but following through and going to a meeting and even having this flyer. Good job, thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
I turned 50 on the Tuesday before the first dance. I might have to come and celebrate.
wow.
They might allow it.
I'll be there.
Douglas Golding, 1316 Lincoln. I streamed the special meeting that you had. I also saw that Urban Renewal had a meeting. I went on the website and I went all over it. I can't find a listing of the boards that the city has. I couldn't find meeting times of them. How do you find out when these boards meet? Or how does the public find out? I mean, I could call the city and I'm sure they could give it to me. But,
I know it's posted up on the foyer, but I thought we.
yeah,
had
but
that up there.
I'm gonna make a statement. The only thing I think worse than not having a website in this day and age is having a website that's inadequate, out of date, doesn't have what it needs to have.
We got a grant to redo our website, and they're putting the ADA stuff
I know,
within
but
it.
two weeks ago, I pointed out that it says that there's no restaurant at the golf course, and that's still on there. I mean, this isn't rocket science. I mean, yeah, maybe it needs an overhaul, but I mean, take care of the obvious problems. why wouldn't you change that?
I haven't been to it for a while, so. I don't know.
Okay, so, you know, there's, like I said, trying to find out when meetings are, what board, can't even find out what boards are on. I'm aware of a lot of them, but a lot of our citizens are new. They don't know there's a library board, a senior center board, a tree board, because they're not listed in there. And when they meet is therefore not listed in there. I think we got to do a better job of informing the people about these. I would have come to that special meeting, but I didn't. I couldn't find that it was happening. I saw it after the fact and streamed it, but.
City council members, either Jeremiah or I are on the list of city council members either. There's definitely a lot of information that I believe is public, of interest to the public that is not correct.
Yeah, and there's errors on the website. And a lot of stuff missing that should be on there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else for citizen participation? Julie?
Don't have anything, thank you.
All right.
Except everybody needs to come and see the Smithsonian exhibit before it leaves on February 29th. It'll be open this upcoming Thursday from noon to 8 o'clock, and at 2 and at 6, Chuck Hannigan will give a presentation on the Holly Swink Railroad and the sugar factory. Those will both be in the banquet room there at the Student Center. And the exhibit will be open from 12 to 8 that day. And then again on Saturday from 12 to 4. And at 1 o'clock we'll show the documentary, The 5 States of Colorado. The last day to see it is Thursday, February 29th from 12 to 4. And we do have a large student group coming from Campo, Vilas, Branson, and Kim. So there'll be a lot of kids around on the 29th. So come see it. We've had over 400 people through it so far.
So great exhibition.
Thank you, Julie.
And everything's free.
All right. New business, Mr. Klein. I was going to say, hold on. Oh, yes, I did promise someone some time tonight. I'm sorry, Elisa.
That's all right.
Elisa came to the last minute, so right after utility board, so don't get too hard on me there.
Yeah. I emailed everybody their minutes for the financials for the general fund. And I wanted to go over them very quickly because I have a new format. The general fund is slightly different than all the other formats, but the other formats for utilities, tourism, urban renewal, they're all identical. So if you actually watched the utility board today, I explained the financial. I also did that at tourism, and I will do it again at urban renewal. And so I just wanted to take 5 minutes to go over and explain the financials. And then if you have any in-depth questions, my office is always open to answer those. So the first thing you have is the balance sheet, cash and equivalents. That's not just cash, that's also the restricted cash. If you were to look at the actual financial, you know that we have like a restricted airport fund, we have canine restricted, municipal restricted. These are all things that are defined into what they must be spent on. So you can't spend it on anything else, but it is considered cash and equivalent. It is the same cash and equivalent that is in the audit. I follow right along with the audit so that when you look at the audit, if you read this, then the audit makes more sense to you. So cash and equivalents is, why is that other one? And, some of it's anything, oh my goodness, I'm losing it right now. Okay, petty cash is included in that, and then regular cash. Then you have your restricted cash, and then you have your investments. I apologize. I did separate that out for you because restricted cash must be spent on a specific item. Then you have your investments. Then you have your accounts receivable. That's money that we anticipate that we will receive, that we have not. And then you have your grants receivable. And as you can see, we have not received. The grants receivable is more than We spent more than we've received.
We've got a lot of reimbursements coming in.
Yeah, I have a lot of reimbursements coming in.
Because, the bridges and all the stuff on the trail will be coming out this month.
So that leaves you with $2,091,456 in assets. And I'll put assets at the top of that like I did the others. Then on the other side, you have your liabilities. That's your accounts payable. That's everything that we owe, that we had, that we did, that was in the computer that we did not pay. Then you have your accrued liabilities. The accrued liabilities, that includes all of your PTO time that you would pay out. It also includes the FICA, the Medicaid, all of that stuff that we accrued at the end of the month, but didn't pay until the 1st. So it carries over. And then you have your deferred revenue. That is expenses that are in the wrong year. I don't want to say the wrong year, but it's a 23 expense that was paid in 24, or it's a 24 expense that was paid in 23. And as soon as the audit's done, you'll see that become zero as all of the journals cross each other and zero each other out, or we receive the money that we were supposed to receive. Then you have your fund balance. Your fund balance is the ending fund balance as of 12/31 of the prior year, in this case 2023. Because we haven't had the audit, that number may change, but that's what it is at this moment. And then your plus or minus, the fund balance is your revenue minus expenses, and that is $433,000. And then you'll see that changes your fund balance to $2,091,456, and that both of them are balanced. Your budget to actual, this is how much we budgeted, the actual that we received, and the remaining balance. So you can see we received 2.96% of our revenue in the general fund. And you can also see that we spent 7.21%. This is where it's slightly different from the other financials that I sent out, because I put this to budget to actual for you guys in each of the categories that we do in the audit.
There is no 1% in this. This is the 3%.
Actually, there's no sales tax in this at all. Let's go to the next page. So I've separated out the revenue and expenses based on the departments, just like I did when we were doing the 2A. So you'll see that I also subtotaled it by the categories that are in the audit. And so you can see that the department revenue was $190,000, but then you have, if you remember during 2A, I said, here's your tax paying dollars. And it becomes 301. The sales tax that we received was pulled back into 2023 because it was sales that were collected in December and paid in January. So if you take your revenue minus your expenses, that is your 433, which is the same as your change in fund balance. And then on the last page, I just give you the total sales tax. You'll see that we took in $453,000, but again, that was pulled back in 23, and it is at 3%. Any questions?
Great job, Lisa.
In my 6 minutes?
You're right on.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, thanks for all that work, Lisa.
You're welcome.
All right, now Mr. Klein acting as Mr. Maloff.
That's right. Okay, so. That's for you, Dean. Hope you're watching. Okay, so Our Lady of Guadalupe is holding their annual dinner auction to be held March 16th from 4 p.m. to about 12 p.m. at 202 Lincoln Avenue. Their clearance report is in order, and everybody has signed off, and it's up to you guys now.
All right, do I have a motion? I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion?
Just to clarify, it's 11:59.
Yeah, 11:59. Yeah, that'd be a long time to talk.
Did you mark that now? All right, any other discussion? I'll ask for your vote. Lisa already voted. That passes unanimously.
That's right. So go early and vote off our bid hard.
Oh, Rick. All right. Mal, do you want to take the next one since you're Mr. Maloff now? Okay, AVRMC, normally they run this through Dean and then we pick a date. They've already set the date. Wednesday, April 10th at 6 p.m. for our joint meeting that we do once a year. Are we on the hook this year? Who's on?
They are.
They are? So if you guys all want to make it, make sure.
Oh, it's always great meeting too.
Yeah.
Really is.
Let Mal know before when you need to know by.
I don't know, I just got this today.
Yeah.
As soon as you can, let Mal know. Yes. All right. I hope you all did your homework from the special session, and we looked at search firm proposals. If we want to make a motion, and then we can discuss one over the other, or however you guys want to do it. And I'll just start off by saying I don't think we're going to go bad either one. I think they're both really great proposals that are out there. There's a couple of different things about each one that, is different. If there's something you guys want me to go back to them with and say, can we get something tweaked here and there, we can do that as well too.
I read through both of them, but are there any highlights that stood out for you? Any differences that you think are worth pointing out?
The only thing that I liked a little bit more was that SGR worked with Lamar because it's so similar to us, not just in size, but the area of Colorado and stuff like that. The Baker Tilly one was great too. So, I'm sure if they would have got the Lamar job, it would have been the same type of deal. Their triple net guarantee or stuff like that. I thought that was really interesting as well too.
Over the years, I've probably received more from SGR than I did Baker Tilly, and they always flood you with those type deals. But SGR is probably your top firm that I've seen, anyway.
Well, I'll make a motion that we adopt the proposal for executive recruitment services from SGR.
All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion?
I was of the same mindset as you, Joe, that their recent work with Lamar is really the only thing that pushed me over. I thought they were both excellent proposals and very similar cost-wise in what they're proposing and their process. So really appreciated. They're both very thorough proposals. But the recent work with Lamar is what edged me towards SGR.
Any other discussion? If not, I'll ask for your vote. And I will keep you updated as soon as they get back to us on what the next steps are. I do know that with them, before we turn them loose with the selection committee, I think we wanted to talk to them about job description. Right? The council did before. No.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll meet as a council, not a committee?
For job description with SGR, yes. And then committee and board reports.
I'll report on the utility board that we just had earlier in the day. I guess the big takeaway, there's a lot of information that goes on. Good job to Melissa for getting us the balanced financials. It was really hard work, easy to follow, and just better on that. That was an issue the last time. It's not an issue this time. From Mr. Seba, they assisted numerous customers with frozen service pipes. And what was interesting about that is most of what they dealt with was customers tampering when they opened up their pit to turn on the water or turn off the water if they had frozen pipes or some other issue. If you need to access your water pit, please contact the water department. You can use the non-emergency number if you call into the police department, or you can call the electrical department and use the same number if you're reporting a power outage or something like that. But try to refrain from accessing your own water pit and preventing that problem there. Mr. Seba also noted that the second notice of violation mailed to businesses not in compliance with the 23 backflow testing, they should be receiving their third warning. If they fail to comply at that point, we have a
Mr. Siebel will go and visit them personally, and if they continue to not comply, they risk having their water turned off until there is compliance with the backflow testing. And last but certainly not least, Mr. Jackson asked for and was approved for $700 for the ARPA scholarship that the city of La Junta and ARPA combined for a total of $1,400 to provide a student of La Junta who receives power from the city of La Junta for a $1,400 scholarship. The deadline to apply is April 12th, and you can pick up your application from Paula Mahoney.
Thank you, Paul. Any other committee and board reports? No? Well, for one last time, from this gentleman anyway.
This is it.
City manager comments, Mr. Klein.
Yeah. Okay. The brick and tile trail, as it is completed. They just got through putting up all the handrail. They got some grading work to do a little bit still, but they're cleaning up the last items. We'll be doing the parking lot at 8th, and as soon as we get the fence in, and Taylor Fence has been awarded to put a finish off the fence, and that way we start to keep the people from driving down in there. Now, you know, where everybody's been parking on that north side, that's going to go bye-bye as a parking lot. So you'll have three choices: 10th and Barnes, and come across the bridge, 8th and Nevada, and there's going to be a parking lot right on that corner, and also right there by the well, it's Valley-wide now, but I always call it mental health, on Lawrence and about 8th. And just, you know, park there. There's 3 trailheads right there for the park side. You know, you can always enter it on 5th Street, 3rd Street, Train Hill. We have benches up and down, so if you're elderly, you know, you can go part way down the trail, sit down, enjoy yourself, and it'll take about 10 years to change out the vegetation, but we do have Mile High Youth Corps coming in for 1 to 2 weeks this summer. We'll be working that initial getting the weeds down and stuff, and then starting to put in prairie grass and everything. So, you know, we also have signs coming in, so, you know, no golf carts, please, you know, and I know that, you know, yeah, because we got elderly, and, you know, I mean, wheelchair, yes, because it's ADA, but, yeah. The fire department, they've had some very hard calls here lately, guys, and, you know, just know they are very busy, and give them a break, because it has been hard on them. It's hard on everybody. And Tom did talk about repairing fire hydrant at 8th in Colorado, and replaced one at the industrial park, but he used the parts out of it to repair the one at 8th in Colorado. Fire on the Plains conference was scheduled for the end of April. That is really big. It's going to be 150 people that will hit, and we've had it before. And my hat's off to Brad getting the fires on the plane back to La Junta. So then the fire department, they're getting trained on electric vehicle hazards on the fires and stuff like that. So just fully know that we're going to try to get on top of that situation before there is one. Everybody's working on their winter maintenance, trying to get ready for summer coming up. We have started our Brownsfield grant with Aries and Associate. That we'll be holding public meetings on how this program works in March if you're a private sector and you want to see, you know, about your building, and it's free. They'll identify, test, get a cleanup plan with cleanup costs, all for free. Then they turn you over to EPA to a 80-20 grant system that they have, and you only pay 20% to clean up that building. That's not just a demo. That is to remodel, to do different stuff, but get the contaminants out. And I'm hoping that some of the private businesses that you step up and help your building out long term, because it really does help La Junta. And we'll be looking at Miller Hall and also the Gibson's building with that program. And we have had some interest in that Gibson's and stuff, so just knock on wood. So the senior center San Antonio trip is full. Thank you for everybody for getting that. That's what makes those programs work on it. Softball has started. We'll have soccer registration until March 6th. And
Should they see Deb if they need to form? Or?
and maybe not this time. But 3rd, 6th basketball games are going, and we get rid of that city manager on February 29th from 10:30 to 2:30 at the Brick and Tile Park. Channel 5 will come, and we'll have a trail opening right about 1 o'clock, and show up, and let's do it. And thank you, everybody, for everything that we've done. You know, I've really enjoyed my career. As a civil engineer, I couldn't have said I had a better career. As a manager, which I didn't want to be, I had a great career. I don't have no ill feelings, no nothing, I wanted to come back to the Valley and help. I hope I made a difference in your lives or your family's lives. That's all I wanted. And so hopefully I did that. I feel satisfied. Hope you all are. So come
You're not off the hook yet. There might be questions. Anyone have any questions of Rick on this
yeah, hit me with your best shots.
Yeah, until 5 on the 29th.
Yeah. No, 2:30. 2:30 it turns over.
I got a question, Rick, on
Yes, sir.
on the Brick and Tile Park.
Yeah, and we have a plaque coming in. We'll put it by the bridge.
On that trail, we said no
Yes,
golf
sir.
carts. What do you? Are bikes okay? Or
Yes, the electric little scooters and stuff, they're okay. Just not your wide vehicle like a golf cart and that. We're going to, the fire department, they're getting a grant out on a 4x4 in case we have to have some type of rescue on that. The parks department, they're going to be looking at, some type of cart situation and that. And don't be surprised, you'll see me along that trail and stuff, and I'll still be helping out. And once the trail's done and stuff, we'll get a trails committee and to help out the city and keep it clean and everything. How about that, guys? Let's do it.
And then are there signs coming for
The signs
3rd
will
and
be here.
5th?
Yes,
Okay.
they'll be here tomorrow, and we have meltdowns coming. They're just not in yet. But we got a lot of little stuff going. But I see it all coming together, and yeah, really makes you feel good.
And then the last one is, me and my daughter went on the trail on Saturday.
Thank you.
And we walked it, and there are some campers, I would
Yes.
say, along the trail. What are our plans for that?
Well, we got to do some maintenance between 3rd and Highway 50, and where they're at. That they started to camp out on our sewer pipe. And we need to get in there and clean that area, so they will be going bye-bye. Yeah, we're between 3rd and 5th right now, but then we came up to finish up around the park and get that cleaned up and stuff, which looks really good. And anybody who's mad about the trees, we cleared that campus, our canvas off, so we could start putting color trees on there, so people at Evergreen and coming around that corner got better looking trees, and in the fall we'll have color and stuff, so it'll turn out good.
And these trees are going to be there for a long time. It's
yeah.
not, the plan is not to have no trees there. It's just we're trying to get it all set up so it's going to last for a very long
And
time.
a lot of them are dead anyway.
Sure. South Denver during the 70s that took like a 20-year period, and they got rid of a lot of the elms and went to those color trees. And they have a color palette during the falls. And I think we could get there if we all work together. And Manhood's just fantastic about getting those type trees around the community. So little by little, I've seen it getting a lot better.
And I know you mentioned that it'll take a while to get the
Tim?
park completely done.
Yeah.
But you know how they're going around the arroyo and they're clearing all the trees and everything?
Yes.
They're about up to right at Valleywide.
Yes.
Used to be Southeast
Yes.
Mental
Yeah.
Health. So when will they get down further?
The rest of that on the west side, that is Valleywides.
No, I mean down the arroyo to go further. How long will that take to clear all
That should take only about a couple of weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll see more of that.
Oh, it come off pretty fast.
And when you talk about clearing out the campers that are down there and the debris, are these people being charged for like their litter and the cost to the city to go and be cleaning this up?
It's hard to get money on homeless.
I know, but then
Right.
what do we do to like discourage them from,
We do have, yes, we do have signs coming on no camping or no loitering, and you'll have to get out.
There's shopping carts all over town, and there's two
Right.
down in the Arroyo over there.
Safeway has agreed to do charges against anybody who steals their carts. So, if we find somebody with a cart, we check with them, see if they got it on camera, and see if we can press charges. So that helps out.
It's a start.
It's a start. But you're right. I mean, they were losing a lot of their carts.
Well, there's two right by the bridge, by the North Lahana Bridge.
Yeah.
But on the opposite side where the Arroyo is, and it's filled with, both of them are filled with stuff, so.
My biggest thing is safety. If we're gonna have kids using this trail and going back and forth from the playground on the trail, I want it to be a safe environment, something that
Me too.
safe, clean, where we're not worried about. My daughter's seen, like, is that a guy under the bridge? I'm like, yeah, he's probably looking for something. Just keep it like that. But it was nice. The trail was beautiful. Other than that, but yeah. So there's still more work to be done at Mercantile Park, and it'll come along nicely. I want to say thank you for everything that you've done since I've been elected. When I first came into the office with Rick, and we weren't on the best of terms, and Rick says, if I did everything that they said I did, I'd be impressed myself. If I did half of everything they said I did, I'd be impressed myself. But we've worked together very well for the better of La Junta.
Right.
And
the region.
And the region, and and I'm gonna miss having you here for different things, but just know that you're always a phone call away from me.
I know. I ain't leaving. I'm in Atlanta all my life.
Not too many calls.
Not too many calls, though. Especially the first month. Gotta get some stuff done.
I do
My
want
list is long.
to just gloss over, so those that don't know, Phil Maloff, I almost said Dean. Phil Maloff, our city attorney, how long was he doing that for?
He was right about 36 years.
36 years. Turned in a letter saying that the 29th would also be his last day as well, too. So we don't need a search committee for that one, unfortunately. So not to knock his ego down or anything, but we will be looking at getting us another city attorney. He gave me a list of names to see if there's an interest. Once I reach out and see if there's an interest, I will present that to council. I don't want to present them and then not even be interested and go from there. Paul, I won't. So just so the public's aware of what's going on with that, I was talking to somebody today, and what I was trying to relay to them was that right now we're in the middle of this city manager process. And there's some things in this process that, to protect the integrity of the search, there's some things that are going to be confidential. Once this process is complete, we will share all of that information with you, but there's going to be some things that are confidential. So when we have contract negotiations, stuff like that, that's all going to be an executive. So don't think that we're not being transparent. It's just the way that's got to be for right now. But when it's over, then we will absolutely share everything that we can, and we'll share everything that we can share, but there's going to be certain things that we can't at certain times. So just know that going forward.
And that's the way it was when they hired me. So it's no different.
Okay. Anything else? Any other governing body comments anyone want to add?
I'd just like to extend a inadequate thank you to Rick. I mean, that doesn't cut it for what you've done for this community. And point of clarification, when I was talking about the notice of violations, that's for commercial businesses, so it doesn't apply to ordinary citizens. I didn't want to cause anybody any undue worry. Going home and looking for your warnings. So.
Tom's not coming to your house.
Check the water.
Anything else?
I wanted to thank the Parks and Rec whoever was on duty, not supposed to be on duty yesterday, supposed to be enjoying their holiday, that went out and searched the city park. There was some posts that maybe there was a whole bunch of broken glass and a whole bunch of trash and broken equipment. It was just trashed, and they went out yesterday on their day off to pick up the park, and it was minute litter there. And I actually went up, and I don't get up as early as you do on my days off, but was trailing him up there, and I kicked around the sand, and there's no broken glass or anything. So, as a community, we all came together just to make sure that it wasn't trashed for kids that, may have not been in school yesterday for their safety. But the Parks and Rec, they sure did not need to do that on their day off. And I would hope that they wouldn't think that any of these departments here need to be called out just because of a post, or, things can wait and we can have patience.
There is a schedule that they clean daily, and if something happens over the weekend or stuff like that, it happens, and they're not going to just be on call to go and do stuff like that. But you, as citizens, also have a responsibility. If you can post it, you can also clean it up, and it's not an either or. You can do both, or call someone that if you're not able to
report it, and they'll get to it. When we do those posts, and it just brings up a whole bunch of other people out there who I guess just know how everybody's jobs work, and they just want to point fingers, and it just makes for kind of a contentious conversation. And then it makes the Parks and Rec, okay, well, we've got to get out there and go take care of this, and they didn't. That was their day off, so kudos to them.
And instead of talking about positives, then we get stuck talking about this, and we should be celebrating, Rick giving us 30 plus years of service, and Deb giving us 23 years of service, and stuff like that. That's what we should be promoting. So thank you to Parks and Rec and all our employees for everything that you guys do for us.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I'd like to thank all my supervisors and employees. You guys are the best. I know you all know how I feel about you.
And with that, we will adjourn the meeting. Thank you all for coming out tonight.